UN has projected that commended
and
the
the
Nigerian
politician should
embassy.
do well.
Welcome to our first episode of Breathe and Breathe Out with your girl.
Did you know that the main ingredient
Chats
for
with the head girl.
Electorate may not know that these weapons are not actually. Hello and welcome to Starry's sparlour, where we're looking to fill you in on some of the most timely and interesting stories in Nigeria. Hello and welcome to the very first edition of Starry sparlour, where we're looking to fill you in on some of the most timely and interesting stories in Nigeria and across the world, even outside planet Earth. On the show, you'll be treated to mind-boggling facts and a session featuring lively discourses on trending topics with our very experienced guests and the beautiful people on the streets. You will also be kept abreast of recent developments in sports and entertainment and watch other intriguing programs lined up to make the show worth your while. I'm your host, Mfonakwan, but you can call me Starry.
You're watching Starry TV.
Welcome back. It's 13 days to Nigeria's big day, the 2023 general elections, and with recent tensions in parts of the country between some security personnel and some civilians, the importance of having both parties trust each other and cooperate in the same space on February 25 and March 11 cannot be overemphasized. This is why we decided to look through the eyes of a retired police personnel to discuss balances for the best possible relationships between both security details deployed for electioneering purposes and the electorate. But before I introduce a very special guest today, let's get the show started with the Facts Bubble segment with Boo Boo and Gracie.
Welcome to today's Fact Bubble.
where we uncover the secrets of the world in less than 60 seconds. Now, did you know that the main ingredient for a delectable batch of household dust is indeed your dead skin cells? According to scientists, humans shed around 200 million dead skin cells per hour. And since most humans live in these amazing things called homes, well, we need to get rid of them somewhere. Onto the violent part of this.
Now, onto the second one.
Did you know that turkeys also have photographic memory? With their fierce attitude and aggressive nature, I think it should be well stressed. Do not mess with the birds. And if you do, oh god, run for dear life.
Please don't get hurt by turkeys. Watch out. And off to the third one.
It's no secret that phones have taken over the world, with its high-tech designs and captivating features. But there's something they forgot and left out. Phones carry about 3 times more bacteria than a toilet seat. So, I will quite recommend disinfecting your phones and wiping them off, especially if you've come from a public place. COVID-19 is real, people. Stay safe.
Bye. That's all for now, but tune in tomorrow for another Fact Bubble. See you later.
Where we're looking to fill you in on some of the most timely and interesting stories in Nigeria. Wow, to think the house does contain skin cells, isn't that something? Very well done, Boo Boo. Well done, Gracie. And now it's time to introduce our very special guest for the day. He retired from the police force in 2003, and having experienced life both as an officer and now a civilian, is in a position to bring clarity to our discussion today. He worked with MTN as a security supervisor for 14 years and is presently working as a safety officer with Koboko 360, a logistic company. He is also the family head of Ntofum in Ibamikpeanang, in a Sianudim local government area of Akwa Ibom State, and will address us in that capacity too. You're very welcome to the show, Mr. Blaise Obots.
Thank you very much.
How ready are you for the elections this year?
Very, very ready. Very, very ready.
Okay, so good to see you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's take some reports before we go into the discussion proper. The National Council of State convened on Friday and threw its weight behind the new currency redesign policy of the federal government. The council, however, asked the CBN to ensure proper circulation of the Naira notes to ease tensions and sufferings of Nigerians nationwide. In politics, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) on Friday dismissed several individuals, including Senator Chimaroke Nnamani, John Fayose, who is the son of the former governor of Ekiti State, and Lere Olayinka, the spokesperson for the former governor Ayo Fayose, for alleged anti-party activities and other grave offences in violation of the PDP constitution. On the foreign scene, Turkey and Syria continue to reel from the sad incidents of Monday's earthquakes. According to reports, desperate search is still on the way. The death toll exceeded 24,000 as of yesterday, and the UN has projected that up to 5.3 million people in Syria may be homeless after the disaster, and 870,000 people in need of urgent food in both countries. As of Saturday, about 70 countries were sending rescue teams and other aids to Turkey, and rescues described as miraculous were still occurring. In an interview, President of the Nigerian community in Turkey, Prince Magbo, told the Punch newspaper that he had received calls by Nigerians who were scared the disaster could hit Istanbul, where most Nigerians are said to reside. He said the Nigerians were asking to return home to study the situation for a while. As of the time of the interview, no Nigerian had reported being affected by the quakes through the group's emergency line in the public domain. Mabo commended the Nigerian embassy in Turkey for keeping in touch with the citizens to ensure their safety. Our thoughts and prayers are with all those in Turkey. In sports, the Super Falcons of Nigeria yesterday departed for León, Mexico, to compete in the Revelation Cup, a four-nation invitational competition. The three other teams competing are the hosts, Mexico, Colombia, and Costa Rica. All four countries will use the competition as part of their preparations for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, to be hosted by Australia and New Zealand. The competition, which will be staged in two cities, León and Guanajuato, will run from February 15 to 21. About 80 Nigerians in the diaspora are expected to return to the country as observers in the February 25 and March 11 general elections. A 21-member advanced party had already arrived in Nigeria on Friday. They said they were willing to make contributions to the electioneering process for as far as the law permitted, since the constitution had yet to make provisions for those in the diaspora to vote. So I know we talked off screen, sir, and you already mentioned the fact that Buhari had experienced this. His leadership had actually brought about a currency swap that came with some challenges. So I'd like you to shed more light on that.
I quite remember then I was in the police force. I worked in Lagos. That was 1983-84 when Buhari took over power from Shagari. 84, precisely, he decided to change the currency. And this brought a lot of hardship to Nigerians. A lot of people lose their money. I quite remember that. A lot of people lose their money, and it brought a lot of hardship. Almost the same experience people are having today.
Wow.
Is what happened in that 1984.
That was military regime when there was the currency swap you talked about. The time that was given for exchanging this currency, was it as short as recent time? Because I think the main problem is in the duration of time.
I think then the time was not as short as this.
Okay.
And, you know, when you said somebody should carry your money. A lot of people keep their money in their houses. You carry your money to the bank to go and change. Some don't have bank account.
Okay.
That is the issue. Some people, like in the north, a lot of them don't operate bank account. And you ask them to go and change their money. Some took their money to the bank. Fraudsters who deceive them, they want to take it inside and change for them. Because there was a lot of queue, massive queues. And somebody would take your money inside and follow the back door and disappear. A lot of people lose their money.
Yeah. And I heard similar story. I heard there are even some people that would actually bring currencies, but they are fake.
Yes.
And they'll tell you they can exchange it and give you new currencies, but you find out they're actually fake currencies.
Presently it's happening.
Yes.
Presently it's happening. But it's just a very bad situation that you are changing money immediately, then fake currency are appearing.
Yes.
The same new money that you think you printed, and people are printing fake. It's really a pity. There's something wrong somewhere.
There just has to be a way to control.
And I just want to add one thing. Didn't you plan when you said you want to change money?
Yeah.
Didn't you think of the capacity, the numbers of Nigerians that will be affected when you want to do it locally?
Yeah.
Did the CBN not plan for it? Or did they plan to fail? Or they plan to succeed? That is the question that the CBN governor need to answer. How many weeks? He's now saying that the local minting and printing that does not have the capacity to print enough money for Nigerians, that they want to go foreign. There's something wrong somewhere.
Yes.
There's something wrong somewhere.
Okay, we just hope they get it right. Like, it's really, really important that they get it right somehow. And if they weren't ready for this, I don't know why they just decided to up and do something they actually weren't ready for.
That's my prayer for Nigerians. Nigerians who have suffered a lot.
It's been really tough on us here in town, but there's been particular concerns for those in the villages, in the grassroots. As a family head, what has it been like? You're in touch with some of these people at the grassroots. What has it been like for people there?
Thank you, Mfon. Really, the policy of the federal government, to me, is a very good policy. But the workability of it is just the problem, the implementation.
Okay.
In the villages, since I am the family head, what I experience is that the village people are suffering much. It has affected the people negatively. The impact of that policy, the people doesn't feel it positively, it affects them negatively. To me, it's a very good policy. Policy that will stop vote buying, that will stop politicians from using money to induce people to vote and to buy vote. But the problem is how to follow up their policy. You make a policy. Buhari has an experience. When he was a military head of state, he changed money, and there was problem. He would have learned from there. In this new system, as a civilian president, he would have used that as a yardstick to study where he made mistake and do this one properly. But I think he did not do his homework properly. And on the grassroots, as a family head, what I experience is that the policy is affecting the local people, the women, the market women, the men. It's affecting them negatively, not positively. Like what happened yesterday in the market, an information just got into people. I think it was a wrong information, breakdown of communication. They told them that federal government has issued a statement that people should not collect old money. And that was the end of business. The local women were no more collecting money. Even supermarkets stopped collecting old currency. And a lot of people were stranded. A lot of people were stranded. So the federal government have to do a lot of homework, synthesize the local women, tell them the effect of this policy, because a lot of them doesn't know. They only had they have changed money.
Yes. Okay. There's need for sensitization.
Yes, there is
you
need.
said. And
Very, very important.
yes, and we actually really hope that just as the council asked them to do, they'll do more about implementation.
That is
So
what
like
we
you
are
said,
praying for.
yes.
That is what we are praying for. Let the president ask his handlers and people that will go out to the grassroots, talk to market women, talk to the men, the local folks, tell them the purpose, the workability of this policy.
Well, we're looking to fill you in on some of the most timely and interesting stories in Nigeria. On the 2023 general elections, the Diaspora Perspective, we reached out to an IT business manager from Manchester, UK, John Odeyemi, to share his thoughts. It's so nice to meet you, sir.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm alright, thank you.
And we are talking about the 2023 elections. I know in Chatham, the recent Chatham House interview, Mahmood Yakubu, the INEC chairman, actually said diasporans were not voting. We are not voting. But I don't know. Were you looking forward to also being part of the election? Would you have wanted to vote in the election?
Yeah, I mean, voting is a privilege, and we shouldn't take it lightly. I mean, we vote to choose our leaders, and if that's the way we communicate, we need to communicate our feelings about our leaders, and by voting, you are doing exactly that. I think it's very, very important we do vote, and I will always vote if I have the opportunity.
Okay, that's so good to know. Okay, with all the candidates lined up, I don't know if you've been in touch with anybody at home and in touch with the news from home also. With all the candidates lined up and with the front runners also, do you think Nigeria has a chance at redemption?
I think from the four candidates and what I've seen in the media, they've all got their K-leg, as we would like to describe it. It is all the best of the bad bunch.
Yeah.
If you can look at it that way. I think there's quite a lot of things that are not being said, that needs to be said, and people are not being held accountable for what they are campaigning on. For example, I've not seen anybody come out and say, oh, I will give kids between the age of 4 and 15 free education. We have the money, why can't we do that?
Okay. I think there's already that policy in some states. I know there is in Akwa Ibom State, Cross River, and some other states. Yes, there are already those policies. Well, it's not even just about giving the kids free education. If you see the states that some of these kids are in, it's terrible. Some kids have to learn sitting on the ground and all of that. Yes, so if all those other things can be put in place, that's a good one, sir. Okay, there's the belief by some persons that once you're out of the country, you're immune to some of the challenges we face here. It's probably true, yes, but do you think that leadership affects you? You've been out of the country for a while. Do you think the leadership in the country affects you as a Nigerian professional in the diaspora?
Yes, it does, because we've been educated by the system. We've been given the opportunity. Without Nigeria, I would not be where I am today. But still, the Nigeria left behind is going backward. So, yes, the decisions being made by Nigerian leaders does affect us. And it makes it very difficult for us to do anything back home. The security is not there. These things we have, people are not getting paid properly. We have school teachers complaining they've not been paid for years. We have families that need medical, that can't go to the hospital. or when they go to the hospital, the state of the hospitals are in horrible state. It's just depressing because it's affecting our parents that we have in Nigeria. It's affecting our family. So, yeah, we might live abroad, we might work abroad. Our home is still Nigeria, and we can never forget that.
Please don't. So, okay. So, you've listed some problems. These problems, did they begin and end with leadership? Is there a role you feel individuals also have to play? Or is it with leadership, getting the leadership structure right? Are we going to get a lot of things right? Or do individuals also have roles to play?
Yeah, we've all got roles to play, and it's very important that we recognize what each and every one of us roles are. However, leadership has got to have the policy in place and the strategy to deliver the roles and responsibility. Example, if Nigerians are told, pay your electricity bill, we will guarantee you 24/7 electricity. 99% of people will pay it. But the fact that there is no system in place to assure people what they're going to get for their money, people are not willing to pay the tax. So there's no money there.
Yeah.
So the resources are not there. So it all starts with the leader to give us the direction we need to go and show us leadership by actually following those rules themselves.
Okay. Have you ever imagined a Nigeria worth returning to if the next leadership gets it right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any problem in coming back to a beautiful weather Nigeria. Where it's safe and secure. Yeah, we are willing to pay, but not to pay for the politicians to go and get medical help abroad.
Okay.
We want them to go to our hospitals and be treated so that we can see that, and we have medical doctors living in Nigeria, thousands.
Yes.
We have technicians, we have accountants, and all these countries are coming to pinch our resources because we are a resource to Nigeria.
Yes.
So people might say, oh, yeah, you go abroad, but it's the resources that's going abroad to go, and those resources can be better kept in Nigeria by making sure there's a system that secures people's family, people's future, and enable the resources to help people develop.
Thank you very much, Mr. Odeyemi. I really do hope Nigeria works enough to attract some of you out there back to the country. Okay, we mentioned security and the fact that in recent times there have been reports of clashes between some security personnel and some civilians. So we are very lucky to have Chief Obot here, the retired police personnel. So he's going to tell us what he feels should be done to limit confrontations between both security personnel and the civilians, the electorate on that day, on election day. So, Chief Obot, what do you think can be done? How better can we relate with each other to prevent post-electoral reports on violence in election period?
Thank you very much, Fon. This topic is very, very important for the success of this 2023 election. The security agents need to understand that they are working for the goods of the people. And the civilians themselves need to understand that the security agent, the police, are friends to the people. Like they used to say police are friends to the people. They need to understand that both parties need to work hand in hand to succeed. There's no way the police would do without the civilian, and the civilian would do without the police or any other security agent. And the politicians should do well not to instigate the police against the civilian or instigate the civilian against the police.
Okay.
Because the issue where a policeman or a security agent is being induced with money to go and tamper with the right of the people, you expect the people to fight back.
Yes.
That is always the issue.
Okay.
They want instead the people to vote according to their conscience. The security agent will be used by the politician. They will induce them to tamper with the rights of the civilian. So they have to have that understanding. Allow the police to do their work or the security agent to do their work. Anywhere they are posted to, they should be allowed to do the right thing.
Okay, on this, we decided to get to the streets to ask Nigerians, how far would you go to actually defend your votes? Because there are people who say it's not actually about casting. Sometimes some of these malpractices tend to happen after casting your vote. And you've made a very valid point that you don't want to, when you finish casting your vote, don't stay around, don't look around for trouble and all of that. Just get home. But then there's also the importance to make sure that your vote truly is going to count. That's where trust between the security personnel and the electorate comes in. So here's what we heard from people on the streets.
That the main
Chit
ingredient
chats with the head girl.
Electorate may not know that these weapons are not actually... Hello and welcome to Starry's Sparlour, where we're looking to fill you in on some of the most timely and interesting stories in Nigeria.
Good day, it's your girl Faustina, and this is our first episode of Street View on Starry's Sparlour on Starry's TV. February 25th is our election day, so you get PVC.
Yes, I get PVC.
Okay,
I am ready for election.
So you ready to vote for that day?
Yes, I am ready because after God is government, so I am ready.
So this is your vote now, where you want cast for February 25th. How far can you go to defend your vote that day to make sure, say, they don't tell you story for your vote?
Yes, it's all about for you. You vote the person that you need, and after that you guide, and you know the numbers of people that vote there, and you get the answer, and you know that the person that win in your unit. You must be there so that you know the person that won from your unit.
How far will you go to defend your vote after casting?
I can go anywhere. I can move to any extent.
So
I can even mobilize. I think I had my PVC, of which even if I don't have, on the elections I know my capacity. I would mobilize people to vote the person I want. I would have loved to vote.
So now, I mean, after they've cast the vote, or maybe after the vote has been cast, do you have any other intentions of maybe staying or something, or trying to regulate how things work out there? Or...
Well, you know how elections are. Sometimes it comes with violence. So once I finish casting the votes, I'm expected to move immediately.
When I vote, I go home. I go straight to my house. What am I hanging around to do again? I'm no longer a youth. I am not among the people that will maybe, if any trouble is or anything is being trouble is being made around. I don't want to be involved. If I vote, I go home straight.
We the youths, we have taken it upon us to vote in the right for party, and I believe you and I know the right for person to be in that seat there. No, I don't need because on the election day I might still have other things to do. Understand? My duty there is just, my obligation there is just to go cast my votes, do what is needful, and then go back home. Understand? I don't have to come and start hanging around where election is going on, stuff like that.
All of us, we need a better person to come, as you understand. And this vote February now, we need a good leader, the person that will help us, the person that will look us, because there are poor people like me now. You can see me, I'm selling Star Apple. I don't have anybody. I hope if I go to the vote now, the person that I'm going to vote for him will be the better person, and it will help others people in Nigeria and in Akwa Ibom, especially for this Akwa Ibom, because many people have finished school but there's no work for them. So we want them to make way for us so that we can eat, we can benefit for everything. Nobody in this Nigeria will carry our ballot paper go. Every ballot paper belongs to somebody. And when they carry them, they will post it to they will keep it for the INES office so that they will see it.
And that's all we have for you today on Street View. So do well, stay tuned, and don't forget to vote wisely. Hope you heard me correctly. Vote wisely. Do not trade your vote for money. Stay safe and be good. Thank you. Bye.
There it is. Nigerians are ready. And I think even the whole world is actually anticipating a good leadership, a better leadership in Nigeria. So, Chief Obot, what do you think the spirits of the people are? I mean, it's been very eventful lately with all these challenges, but has it dampened the spirits of the people, especially at the grassroots level? Or are people actually like more determined to have a new leadership, a leadership that works for the country?
Thank you very much for that question.
You're welcome.
I think the present situation a little bit has dampened the spirit of the people. They say an hungry man is an angry man. The people are hungry. And a lot of people are saying they won't go out to vote if there is no food in their stomach. But I want to encourage Nigerians to go out there and make a mark. Vote a good leader. Vote their conscience. They should not allow themselves to be induced. Because if you allow yourself to be induced, they give you 1,000 naira, they buy your future. At the end of the day, you have no right to complain.
You've heard from Chief Obot. He says, do not be induced with little amount. Well, how much is worth your future? It's actually laughable that some of us would throw away whole future for money as small as 1,000 naira. I mean, don't allow your votes to be bought. Chief Obot says, go out and vote. Do not be deterred by the challenges.
I'm so passionate about my country, Nigeria. I'm so passionate about Akwa Ibom as a state. And I want to air my view and speak to the youth of Nigeria. The youth need to wake up from their slumber, because I look at the youth as sleeping. They need to take what belongs to them, take over their future. The youth need to wake up. They don't need to sit on the fence. Enough is enough. I expect the youth to be in the forefront of struggling to free Nigeria. Because for now, Nigeria is under what we call captivity. And it is only the youth that can free Nigeria. The soul of Nigeria needs to be freed. Thank you very much.
Hi ladies! So it's the first episode of Chit Chats with the Hair Girl. I am excited. Are you? Okay. Today I'm going to be using my weird superpower. It's called clear audience. It means I can hear your hair talk. Yes, I'm not joking. You know how you lose something right inside your house and you hoped it will speak and say something like,
Hey, I'm right here.
I always wanted to hear what my hair had to say when I used washing soap instead of shampoo on wash day. And voila, it happened. I hope one day some of you can have this power too. But while we hope, I'll quickly relay a few messages to some of you. It's about to get prophetic up in here. To you experiencing hair breakage and has hair of many colors, like Ashoki, your hair says it's drowning in an ocean of toxic chemicals. So please, cut down on excess use of chemicals like relaxers and dyes. Don't be that lady who doesn't give a hoot about how many times she applies relaxer to her hair. Well, I'd advise a maximum of 3 times a year, only if necessary. Otherwise, stick to a silk press or have your hair braided. Okay, to you with receding hairline, like your front hair starts 2 centimeters away from your forehead. Your hair did not say much. It just screamed,
Lose me and let me go.
Hey, get rid of those side braids. You snatch your strands like you are snatching your stomach. Don't do that. But there are two things you can't do. Avoid tight braids completely. But if you absolutely need to have braids, ask your stylist to start with your hair and progress with extensions. So you with lice and dandruff outbreak. Your scalp used to be the cleanest, but right now it is a farm of lice and dandruff. Well, your hair told me something. You both are having an open relationship with other combs. Ha! I can't even shout. That's not healthy. Your hair would like to go exclusive, like you get your own combs. Yeah. Treat your hair the way you treat your teeth. Can you share toothbrushes with strangers? I wouldn't. But if your answer is no, you need therapy. Don't share your combs and wash them every 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, that will be all for today, ladies. I'm cheering you on because you can do this. You shall overcome. Remember, your hair is a reflection of you. So, child, you better do right. With love from the hair girl. Bye.
Hey guys, what's up? How you doing? Good day. Welcome to our first episode of Breeze and Breeze Out with your girl Faustina. And today we're talking about Valentine's Day. Well, so you know, it's next week Tuesday, and I'll be asking them a question. What's the craziest thing you've done for the one you love? You won't believe what I've heard today. Crazy things. What's the craziest thing you've done for the one you love? I mean, you've actually loved somebody.
Do you think so?
I mean,
okay, I love my parents. I love my siblings.
We're talking about like your man,
Okay, I don't have a man, to be very sincere. So I don't think I've not done anything for anybody, really.
I ran under the rain to go and see someone in a class.
I think we have sex now. Sex.
The craziest thing you've done for the person, like what's the craziest thing you've done for somebody you love?
I'm on that question, difficult.
Are you serious?
I think it's sneaking out with my dad's car for 2 days on a low road. I sneaked out with the car, my father's car, for 2 days. Love trip.
So did your father find you?
Definitely, and I got served.
That was all, you know how voluminous biology and government can be.
Yeah.
I wrote it for free. And this guy did not ask me out again. He told me that he don't like me. That is not disturbing him.
Sorry. Not so bad of him, Shabo. But it's fine. I mean, we all do things for love, so it's cool. I mean, it's not bad.
I've gone out to see someone in the middle of the night, and I was, for days, they beat me because of it.
Sorry. Hope you don't have bruises from that night.
Not really.
And basically, that's all we have for you today on Breeze In and Breeze Out with Faustina on Starry's Sparlour and on Starry's TV. Tell us what's the craziest thing you've done for the one you love is. My name is Faustina Ugweze and I'm your pretty brown skin host. See you next Sunday.
Thank you very much, Faustina. What's the world without a little motivation and inspiration? This is why we decided to bring you the story of a very heroic woman who played an important role in our existence as a free people. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Over now to Miracle Blaze for Inside Earth.
Harriet Tubman. The attribute of being fallible, giving, and caring is known as kindness, particularly when being nice or considerate of others puts you in danger. Some individuals could perceive being kind to be naive or weak. It is obvious that Harriet Tubman was heroic and daring beyond the norm, but perhaps less obvious is how her deeds showed kindness. Harriet Tubman Harriet was born into slavery. She miraculously escaped in 1849 and then went back 13 times to free about 70 other slaves, including her own friends and family. Harriet made use of the Underground Railroad, a system of abolitionist and safe houses. Later, during the American Civil War, she worked with the Union Army as an armed scout and spy, advocating for the release of all slaves. She was referred to as Moses and was said to never lose a passenger. Slaves who were freed by Tubman received assistance from her as well and resettled into Canada. The first woman to command an armed expedition during the war, this courageous and caring woman also served as a chef, nurse, scout, and spy while commanding a raid that freed more than 700 slaves. Tubman was fervently religious and deeply committed to her beliefs. Her mother read her Bible stories, and although she was never taught to read, she often attended church with her family. I can only assume that her personal experience of being a slave and the counsel she received from the Old Testament stories of deliverance influenced the decisions she made throughout her life. What do you see in the world that you find unacceptable? Perhaps it is when you witness unfair treatment of others or when your pals are bullied. Perhaps you wish that everyone in the world had access to food and shelter. You can choose to take a stand so that things change regardless of the issue, whether it is something local to your neighborhood or school or something more worldwide. Who knows what kind of a difference being nice, fearless and brave like Harriet Tubman can do for others. According to abolitionist, former slave and proprietor of a safe house on the Underground Railway, Frederick Douglass, who was also a commentator on Tubman, most that I have done and suffered in the service of our cause has been in public, and I have received much encouragement at every stop of the way. You, on the other hand, have been labored in a private way. I have wrought in the day, you in the night. The midnight sky and the silent stars have been the witnesses of your devotion to the freedom and of your heroism. Join us next Sunday on Inside Earth for more inspiring stories of kindness and courage.